when society thinks of, especially in our society, the impression they have of artists is that they're is based on how they dress or how they have their hair, looking wild or and I think as an artist, the theme where the wild things are is just pretty much about breaking free from society's expectations and what they would deem unusual. We see as just trying to seek truth. And if you think about it, like I give the analogy of a wild animal or a wild plant growing freely, despite the hard conditions set against them, they still manage to set their own paths and go beyond. They decide who they are, and they say a lion roams freely in the savannah, and the conditions are hard and it's hot and sometimes there's drought, and but they are being who they are. They are not caged. They're just seeking themselves. They're seeking their truth, and that's what being an artist is going beyond to seek your truth and to speak and to just. I think it's not until you can really open yourself to see things for what they really are and express them that you can understand that, hey, this is actually what is supposed to be. You are normal, like you are, because you're speaking your truth. The two works I'm presenting for this exhibition are based on the same theme that I was doing previously in the past exhibitions, which was capturing women in their intimate and most mundane moments. And to me, these are familiar places, domestic situations, and capturing women alone as they move through their homes or as they are sitting by themselves in introspection. And I want to elevate those moments, those simple moments, to give a louder message about perseverance and a woman seeking clarity, looking for strength or looking for courage, and these two pieces. The first one is called Temeumbwa Tupendane, which is Swahili, and I like to draw from my culture as a Muslim woman, but with a Muslim background, and having been married into one as well. Our culture is. In our culture, we have the kanga, which we wear when we're praying or at home. And the kanga always have these messages, and they're usually messages of hope or love or basically positive messages. And Tumeumba Tupendane basically means we were created to love each other. But in this piece, she's kneeling, sort of like the position you take when you're praying. And in that position, you are sort of meditating, and reflecting on your life or your situation. And it's basically, the message for me spoke to me because of because my work is basically about empowering women, but given our differences in society, Temeumbe Tupendani meant respecting our differences as well as women and not judging ourselves. And because maybe Muslim women are seen as submissive and what, but there is also a strength to playing that role of the caregiver and the mother and the wife, and I just also wanted to celebrate that and the beauty of it and the beauty of the kanga and the beauty of that culture. And yeah, that's what that particular piece was. And the next piece was, I haven't yet really got a title for it yet, but it was basically drawing on the domestic position of the woman in our culture. Even in our contemporary times, it's still a patriarchal society. And we see her walk through this home of hers, but she seems to be fading. So it talks about how much as she gives herself so much to her home. She works, she provides, she takes on the role of the mother, she cares for everyone. We're basically brought up to be caregivers in our homes. And sometimes it's at the expense of ourselves, and we almost become invisible in our homes because we're expected to be these things, and we lose sight of who we are. And so that's what that particular piece was. It was just trying to capture her as she fades into her background. I have always loved to draw, since I was maybe in my teen years is when I started to realize that I am actually not so bad at this. And I was always drawing portraits, and I don't know, I was always intrigued by people's faces and their expressions, and drawing from my environment. I love to draw trees, I love landscape. But as I got older and grew into a woman, I started to observe my experiences more, and I started drawing as some kind of therapy for me. And I just needed to express how I was feeling, and most of my work is still self-portraits. And I think in them I try to find my voice and to maybe see myself in the work, and hopefully hope that somebody can relate to that and draw some kind of maybe it could be therapeutic to them as well. Yeah. And and the work, as it started to empower me, I started to realize the power. I thought that maybe if others could relate to it, then they could also see themselves and see their truths and, start to gain some kind of clarity as well. I'm inspired by the women in my community. I'm inspired by their strength through their experiences. And much as they deem it normal or just the way it should be, the way they accept it, I feel that through the work I can elevate their experiences to have more meaning, and also for them to also create some maybe doubt that there could be more. The most enjoyable part is the the drawing, because for me it's almost like meditation. I love that you almost, even if you have an idea of what you want to portray, it takes its own route, and just the journey to trying to capture the concept of the drawing is the best part for me. But it does get, because I care about it so much, I think it can get frustrating in that I think I'm hard on myself about if I'm good enough, or I have a lot of self-doubt, and I think that's the frustrating part. And if I'm not capturing the mood or the concept like I would like to, but I'm learning and have learned, to work through it through discipline and just constant self-talk. And and I think even after the process of working, one of the best parts is having someone relate to the piece, and just then it becomes, it really gives more meaning to it, to me, I tend to like working in quiet places where my thoughts are loud. And where I go to work is almost like my sanctuary, I go to question myself and to write and to sketch and try and interpret my thoughts. So and I'm also drawn to places that are that have nature outside, and some people and activity, and I like the experience of just taking a break and enjoying that, going outside and enjoying that, and then going back in and going back to work. And so I like music. I listen to music. I love rock music. I like all kinds of music, but I really like rock music, I think, because it's very intense with its feelings and expression. And I also like documentaries. I listen to documentaries because sometimes I do pick some inspiration from them as well. When I get a creative block, I do take a break, because sometimes it's like I would hate for my work to almost feel like a job, I want it to come from within and just pour onto the paper. But it is a job, because it's a lot of work. You're sitting and drawing all day, and so sometimes I think I need my eyes to rest, or it helps with gaining inspiration. I find that when I take a break and I go see something else, go watch a movie or take a walk or travel somewhere and just watch water or trees, my thoughts are clearer, and I always come back inspired and ready to sketch something. And for me, I do believe in taking a break. I mean, art is many things to different people. It's a voice, it's a platform as well. It's just is somewhere where you can reflect on your situations, and the viewer can also draw their own reflection from your work, and in that way we all connect, I think. So yeah, art is powerful in that way. Because I draw women, about women's experiences, we all have similar experiences. When you sit down and have conversations with them or observe their lives, either one story is maybe an exaggerated version of another, or it's always so similar because it's so, our experiences, I think, are entrenched in our culture as well, and our beliefs about ourselves and what we were taught. I usually, for me, like I said, I draw from my experiences, my personal experiences. And it just happens to be that many women do relate to these, especially in my society. There's definitely been a shift in my, not just technically, but how I view myself as an artist. I am definitely more confident. I would say I'm more open to my thoughts. I'm more willing to be vulnerable. Yeah, 2 years ago, I knew I wanted to say something, but I wasn't even sure because I didn't allow myself the courage to say it. And this whole experience has just empowered me so much as a woman, and I do believe that there is something to be said, and I just want to be that voice for those who can't. It's given me so much purpose as well in my life. I'm so sure now that I am where I'm supposed to be. 5 years from now, I hope that I am still eager to learn and grow as an artist. I look up to women like Diane Victor, and she's been a very successful South African female artist, and she's very bold with her in her work, and that's a direction I would like to take. Much as I have grown as a more confident artist in my concepts, I would like to be bolder, and I would like to be more honest, and and I would like to explore other media. Much as I use charcoal, I'd like to play around with it so much more, maybe with washes and other material that do resemble the charcoal. I'm eager to just continue growing as an artist, and hopefully my work just continues to inspire and to empower. Hopefully my work just continues to inspire and to empower women, and it must be of value to them in some way. I'm a woman. I'm African.